way here from Dublin to the Centerline Dublin World Show. Frederick Mignon. Well, it's been great to have them, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Magali Delgado, Frederick Mignon. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us straight into the Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland. What a competition we have for you. A metre 60 track here set by Alan Wayne. Alan is going to be the designer this year for the FEI World Equestrian Games in Prix, North Carolina in just 3 or 4 weeks' time. And we have 3 combinations in our field who are already winners at the 5-star Grand Prix level this year. Kevin Longines and Kathy Cooper, who won the Longines Grand Prix of Ireland together. Billy Toomey and Kimber Flamenco winning the Longines Grand Prix of Switzerland. And Daniel Coyle and Sita winning the Longines Grand Prix of Canada. Our competition is going to start here over the 1916 commemoration fence, just in front of the jury box, standing metre 50 wide, and sloping onset, just inviting them into the course. Fence 2, just over metre 55, there is the level-lock round tower, before they then pick up the Children of Lear fence at 3, the Oxford. From there, it's back around to the Chester Meter Library at 4. On from the Chester Meter Library over the open water and then into the first double, the Gothic arches and the New Grange spirals there with the single stride in between, pushing on the related distance then to the famine ship. Around the top of the ring and coming back to the postage stamp and postage boxes, a 2 metre wide triple bar, pushing them on then on a very short distance to the Longines vertical at 9. Going around the flowers in the middle of the ring then, they're going to pick up the Hurley and Schlitter Oxer in the middle of the ring, and then it's the triple combination line in front of the President's box. Longines 11, A, B, and C. The pullback lighthouse then up at fence 12 before turning back to the New Grange spirals vertical at 13, and then the final fence on course is the Longines watches, metre 55 high, metre 70 wide. Time allowed 87 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome into the arena the first competitor in the Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland. For the Czech Republic, it's Emma Rosak-Donje and Diva.
La première carrière pour la République tchèque, nous avons Emma Rosak-Donje sur Diva.
As we mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 5-star Grand Prix, €200,000 prize money. It's a sporting contest, but it's also a very important contest for all of these professional riders. Give them the best sporting chance, please. No flash photography because he doesn't set the horses. There's a lot at stake here this afternoon, and we would really appreciate your cooperation in that regard. In the arena now, this is Emma Rosak-Donje for the Czech Republic with Diva. Combination on the 1 metre 64-star Grand Prix, Poznań in Poland. Second in the 1 metre 60 3-star Grand Prix in Mannheim, Germany in May. Our first competitor this afternoon for the Czech Republic, Emma Rosak-Donje and Diva.
So the last go is 12 for jumping, 1 for time, 13 falls and all, 89.10 is the time taken for Pedro Moeller, Nations Cup hero for Brazil.
Our next competitor in the arena from Ireland, this is Dermot Lennon. He goes with Galvin's Touch.
Le prochain cavalier en piste pour l'équipe irlandaise, Dermot Lennon, qui monte Galvin's Touch.
Man from Banbridge, County Down, former world champion and European team gold medalist. He goes with Galvin's Touch. They had an outstanding show in Hamburg in May, 2 table A classes, and on one circuit was winner of the TRM Motorsport Ireland New Heights Champion Series Grand Prix in Tattersalls. Dermot Lennon, Galvin's Touch, Ireland. Our next competitor in the Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland. This is Barbara Schneeper, and she goes with Cicero F for Switzerland.
La prochaine cavalière en piste pour la Suisse, nous avons Barbara Schneeper sur
Schneeper and Cicero fourth in the Grand Prix on time in July. So Squad competed in the 5-star show in St. Gallen. Angelique Horn, and she goes with Grego or NB.
La prochaine cavalière en piste pour les Pays-Bas, nous avons Angelique Horn qui monte Grego R&B.
Angelique Horn into an equestrian family always involved, of course, as a previous Dutch national show jumping champion. The Dutch team placed fourth in Hong Kong at the Beijing Olympics. She jumped a lovely clear round in the second round of the Aga Khan Trophy here on Friday. Angelique Horn goes to Grego or NB for the Netherlands. In the arena now for Ireland, this is our Olympian Greg Broderick. He goes with Chinook.
Le troisième cavalier pour l'équipe irlandaise, nous avons Greg Broderick qui monte Chinook.
Greg, our national show jumping champion in 2015 and again in 2017. 11-year-old Chinook, make sure we're second in the Tira Horse Sport Ireland Young Heights Champion Series Grand Prix in Tattersalls in July. For Ireland, it's Greg Broderick and Chinook.
Well, jumping one is a time at 89 and 91, ladies and gentlemen. Irish Olympian Greg Broderick, Chinook.
Our next nomination, the Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland. Scoring quite Kuipers. He goes for the Netherlands with Charlie.
Et maintenant pour les Pays-Bas, nous avons Darren Kuipers qui monte Charlie.
Top 5 finisher in the 40 Stakes, Darren. To replace the Continental Championships in Kexdorf in Austria. Just last week on the European pass, he followed out in the Netherlands. Darren Kuipers goes for the Netherlands with Charlie.
For jumping one for time, 88.33 the time taken there for Darren Kuipers and Charlie. So it's going to take a clear to come back to the jump off against Angelique Kuhn, his countrywoman. But Darren Kuipers there for the Netherlands, giving it his best on the final day of the Stella Line Dublin Road.
As we welcome into the main arena, our next combination for Great Britain, this is Alexandra Norton, and she goes with Cornetto Hay.
Le prochain cavalier pour la Grande-Bretagne, nous avons Alexander Morton qui monte Cornetto.
Alexandra competing in the 86th running of this Grand Prix. First contested in 1927, the 9-foot break in 4 years, 1940-45. This is the 86th time we've had the Grand Prix. Alexander Norton goes for Great Britain with Cornetto Hay.
is the jumping one for time 90.34 on the clock, but he's still one of our favourites, ladies and gentlemen, from the winning Mexican Aggie County, Federico Fernandez.
Next year, launching his National Grand Prix of Ireland, for Ireland, it's Ken McMahon. He goes with Picasso.
Le prochain cavalier de monde, nous avons Ken McMahon qui monte Picasso.
And from County Dublin, a member of the winning Aggie County in 2012, he rode the Gino. Sorry, this horse, Picasso, third in the Royal Dublin Society Junior Stakes in Pacifico earlier in the week. Ken McMahon and Picasso for Ireland.
Just inside the time, 86.75, but it is 3 down. 12 faults there for Ken McMahon and Picasso.
Our next competitor in the launching International Grand Prix of Ireland for Switzerland. This is Orta da Silva. He goes with high non-stop Van Rohrhoff.
Le prochain cavalier en piste pour la Suisse, nous avons Arthur Silva qui monte Einstein Van
Orta jumps a clear round in the Nations Cup in Rome earlier this year. Swiss team that placed second. He was also fourth in the five-star Grand Prix in Rotterdam with this horse.
Well, once again, the upright after the combination. 25 metres down to that 1.60 metre upright. So 3 fences down, 12 jumping, 1 time penalty, 13 faults in all for Bart Bless and Israel Vidi Denderhove for the Netherlands. Now the other young 23-year-old from the Netherlands, Kevin Jochems, with the 11-year-old gelding, KWPN bred Captain Cooper, victorious 2 weeks ago at the King George V Gold Cup in Hickstead. Didn't have the rounds that one would expect this combination. They've had a great show in Falsterbo, as I say. They won the big prize at Hickstead, the big individual competition at Hickstead, the King George V Gold Cup for the Netherlands. Kevin Jochems, Captain Cooper. "23 years old, Kevin." Was very close to the water, but the judges are walking over, but they look pretty relaxed about it. If you've just been able to tune in to the Longines International Grand Prix, we're here in Dublin. Apologies, there's been apparently a lack of sound on the broadcast. We've had 13, this is the 14th of the 40 competitors come forward for the Longines International Grand Prix. Just the one clear at the moment, Angelica Horn. And this looking very good indeed for fellow Dutch rider Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper. But he's got to get home in 87 seconds, and that's been a challenge. Look at the clock, he's a second inside the time. The Dutch have got 2 clears in the jump-off, the only 2 so far from the first 14 competitors. Very, very good round indeed. We saw them perform brilliantly at Hickstead a couple of weeks ago. So Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper make it clear number 2 and clear number 2 for the Dutch.
So next to go for Mexico, this is Enrique Gonzalez, and he goes with Shakna.
Now for Mexico. The second member to jump this afternoon from that victorious Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup team on Friday, Enrique Gonzalez, with the 11-year-old Hanoverian mare, Chakna. It was fabulous scenes here on Friday. This former Olympian, their words, not mine, the greatest day of their lives for the jumping in Mexico. Already knows he's in the team for what will be his 3rd FEI World Equestrian Games in America. But they will never forget their weekend in Dublin. They were here as an invited team, which was excitement enough just to be here, to be invited to jump a rub at the second pass of the double, but it's still there. The time allowed 87 seconds. Only 3 riders have got inside that time from the first 14 competitors. 2 of them clear. One was Clem McMahon, who had 12 faults. The other 11 all outside the 87 seconds. It's tough. And that's come down several times, that upright at 1.60 m over Liverpool. Enrique got away with it though, got away with the run. He didn't get away with that one. But on 4 faults and inside the time, so that will put them in 3rd place at the moment. Of course, there'll be a jump off with the clears, but these 66,000 euros for the first prize, and if you're 11 for 12, 2,000 euros apiece. So that's the quickest, that's the only one on 4 faults, but just to checking my list here, in fact, the only rider to have 4 faults. There's 2 clears before that. Now we go back to Great Britain, 30-year-old Amanda Derbyshire celebrated her 30th birthday during the Dublin show this week. Amanda Derbyshire, one of the best performing riders other than the Irish here. She had a win on Friday, a 2nd yesterday, a 2nd earlier today, and a 4th on Thursday. Amanda Derbyshire with Le Banter for Great Britain, having a good week, looking for her 2nd win of the week. She hardly touched that. But keeping up the pace, as you can see. But on 4 faults already. That's 8. Alan Wade, the course designer, has been jumping designing great courses all week. In the Nations Cup, he had 9 clears in the first round, 10 in the second, but this class is about the pressure that has been put on these riders, with the 80 seconds time allowed being difficult to achieve. And just inside that time, but the 2 down, so 8 faults for Amanda Derbyshire, and Le Banter for Great Britain puts her in 6th place. Of course, there will be a jump off with the clear rounds. Great week Amanda Derbyshire has been having from Great Britain, who qualified to be at the Barcelona final of the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup. Well, what a summer this man's been having with this great horse, Paul O'Shea, for Ireland, with Scara Glen's Machu Picchu. 11-year-old Dutch bred by Silverstone. 2 double clears he's jumped in Nations Cups, Samarin and Falsterbo 3 or 4 weeks ago. Didn't have quite the same success at a couple of 4 fault rounds. Good rounds in the Nations Cup on Friday. Ireland, who finished equal 2nd in the Nations Cup, joint 2nd with France and Italy. Oh dear. We've seen this horse jump so many fabulous clears this year. Every corner. He's got 4 on the board. Jumps the last. And that's 4 faults inside the time. One down, 4 faults for Paul O'Shea and Skara Glen's Maku Pico. So the riders have been able to watch the riders who've coming in now have been able to watch a few rounds to start with, have seen that the clock's a problem, but it looks like they're getting to grips with it. So into 4th place, Paul O'Shea with Skara Glen's Maku Pico. Just the 2 clears so far from the first 17 competitors. Clear for Angelica Horn and Kevin Jochems, both for the Netherlands. Now for Ireland. Still with Ireland, I should say. Michael Duffy with Lappuccino, 10-year-old gelding by Libello. He was 22 years old. Team gold medalist for Ireland at the Youth Olympic Games 4 years ago. That's 2 down. Distance 25 metres between the last, coming out of the combination to that fence 12, the 160 upright. That's proving to be the main challenge. 3 down, 1 time penalty. So Michael Duffy, Lappuccino, one of the many young Irish stars in the sport, finish on 13 faults here at the Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland, the 86th edition of the Longines International Grand Prix here at Dublin. First one in 1927. Missed 5 years during the Second World War. The show itself 144 years old. Now for Great Britain. Holly Smith riding Heart's Destiny. Just a 9-year-old by Heartthrob, and what a serious member of the teams Holly's been in the Nations Cup. Friday she jumped out of 4 faults in the first round, then a clear. Jumped a double clear at St Gallen, a couple of rounds of 4 faults at Hickstead. Already been placed 3 times this week with their horses, 3rd, a 4th and a 5th. The British ladies who've really been doing extremely well here this week. Too close to the planks. This is the 14th international class of the Dublin Horse Show, but only 2 classes of the previous 13 have been won by non-Irish riders. Amanda Derbyshire for Great Britain and Paul Esterman for Switzerland. All the rest being won by riders from Ireland. That's 1 down, 1 time penalty. So 5 and all for Holly Smith and the wonderful 9-year-old Heart's Destiny. So Yes, the Irish have been dominating the international classes. As I say, we've had 13 prior to this particular class. And it's only been, other than the joint winners of the Puissance, it's only been Paul Espen for Switzerland, who's not taking part in the Longines International Grand Prix today, and Amanda Derbyshire, who's managed to get in front of the Irish over the last 4 days. Now for the United States, the youngest lady in the class, Lucy Delorias with Hester. Lucy, daughter of Mario, who at a similar age to Lucy's age now, is the youngest rider ever to win the FEI World Cup final. And grandfather Roger, synonymous with that fabulous show round at Bremont in Canada. And he will be extremely proud to see Lucy jumping here at Dublin. Superb jump over that Oxer. Now, what can she make of the distance after the combination down to the upright over the Liverpool? On 6, absolutely perfect, spot on. Now it's about the clock. Sure, there's some fences to go, but it's 10 seconds to get home. She's getting plenty of time. Oh, flattened. Well, she was in plenty of time, but unfortunately she hurdled the last, which was, that's heartbreaking for the 19-year-old. It was 2 great rounds on Friday with 2 4-fault rounds. He's got another fault round here. Robert Ridland chef to keep. That's what it means. Heartbreak. The last fence down after an absolutely brilliant round from Lucy Delorias and Hester for the United States. So they finish on 4 faults. In fact, they're the fastest of the 4 faults. We've only had 2 clears so far. We've had half of the field. We've only got 2 clears, so that's the fastest of the 4 faulters, Lucy Delorias for the United States, currently in 3rd place. Now, one of the many Irish riders that have won classes this week. Billy Toomey, winner from Wednesday, riding Kimber Flamenco. Billy, who's been one of the rocks of the Irish teams over the last 20 years. In fact, a few more than 20. So halfway through, clears from 2 from the Netherlands, Angelica Horn and young Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper. That's just the only 2 clears so far. Ireland, 11 of the 40 competitors looking for their first clear. 2-metre spread over the sloping poles. Now the difficult skinny planks. Oh. Heartbreak for the Irish, 2 in that line down. Jumping 1 time penalty for Billy Toomey and the 9-year-old Kimber Flamenco. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more of Kimber Flamenco over the next couple of years. And we stay with Ireland. Captain Brian Conan with the 10-year-old gelding, Dino. Recently turned his attentions from the sport of eventing to focus purely on show jumping. Lives in Wellington in Florida. And a product of the Army Equitation School here, just up the road here in Dublin. Spent a couple of years there. So far, so good. Well, spoke a bit too soon there. Well, a great jump at the last, 89.62 the time, 87 seconds the time allowed. One down, one time penalty, 5 penalties in all for Captain Brian Cannan and Dino for Ireland.
In the arena now for France, this is Alexis Derlebay, who's with Simon Do.
6 of the 22 competitors that have been into the arena so far in the 86th running of the Longines International Grand Prix have actually got inside the time. So only 6 of the 22. There's a lot of pressure to get that 87 seconds the time allowed. For France, Alexis Derlebay with Timon Dieu. And great performance Alexis put in on Friday in the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup on this horse. Had one down in the first round, then clear. Left France in with a shout to win it, but they finished second equal in the end. Two-metre spread. Perfect over the planks that have proved problematic in this Grand Prix. Now the next big challenge. Perfect. 10 seconds to get home. 2 fences to jump, still clear for France. Flies the last, and that's inside the time, and that's clear. France are in the jump off. Alexis Derlebay, Timon Dieu, who've been performing so well in the Nations Cups, now goes clear here. Just the 3rd clear that we have from the 23 competitors in the Longines International Grand Prix. A superb round.
Two Dutch riders forward into the jump off. The 86th running of the Grand Prix. Netherlands won it 3
So the clears so far for France, Alexis Derebe, we've just seen. 2 for the Netherlands, Angelique Horn with Brego RMB, and Kevin Jochems with Captain Cooper. Now we stay with France. A lady who's won individual gold medal at the Mediterranean Games just a few weeks ago. For France, Alexandre Pelot, Antonio Lagutelle. Judges are walking over just to have a look at that tape on the water. And keeping the arms folded. Still clear. Now the treble. And didn't get away with the rub on the last part, or the upright after the treble. And the time ticks over as well. One fence down, 1 time penalty, 5 faults in all for Alexandre Pelot, Antonio Lagutelle for France. Ground's been absolutely perfect here in Dublin. We had a lot of rain last night, but perfect footing. Ireland looking for their first clear in the Longines International Grand Prix. And this, another rider of the 11 for Ireland, Richard Howley, riding Dolores. Well, he shared first place in the Puissance with Porrick Judge, Pedro Marlet from Brazil, and Mickey Pender, another fellow countryman. So 8 faults so far for Richard Howley. Perfect down that difficult line, or the line that one of the lines has caused an issue. He's inside the time, but there's 2 fences down, so 8 faults in all for Richard Howley and Dolores for Ireland, placed on Wednesday. Ireland still looking, as I say, for their first clear here in the Longines International Grand Prix. Ireland, who haven't won the Dublin Grand Prix since 2014, and that was Birch Mallon with the wonderful Molly Malone, a combination we'll be seeing later on in a few moments' time. But we go to Spain before we do. Paulo Amelibia Puig with Tarzan de Flandre. And that definitely didn't make the 4.1 meters First time we've seen the water play a part, but got it completely wrong, so this could be very frustrating if she now goes and jumps the rest of this Alan Wade built course. Alan Wade, who's got the job of building at the World Equestrian Games in Tryon in September. Last part of the combination makes it 16 faults in all. The finish is on 21 faults in all for Paolo Emilibier for Spain. 21 faults.
International Grand Prix of Ireland. This is Anthony Condon and SFS Aristio for Ireland.
We've got 8 of the 11 Irish competitors in this competition remaining to come, and this is the first of those 8. Ireland still looking for their first clear. Anthony Condon with SFS Aristio. Right. Can this man give the hosts here something to cheer about? He's got quite a long way to go with 10 seconds. I don't know that he might. Is he going to make that 87 seconds? He's still clear. This is a very good round for Ireland, but he's got to get home in 80 seconds. I think he's going to just do it. No, he's just outside. 87.37 seconds. Well, clear jumping, one-time penalty. Anthony Condon, SFS Aristio, gives the Irish something to cheer about, but unfortunately will not be joining the 2 Dutch and 1 French riders in the jump-off. Very good round indeed from Anthony Condon, a reliable competitor for any of the teams for Ireland. Clear, one-time penalty. Clears so far, 1 for France. Alexis Derabé, 2 for the Netherlands, Angelica Horn and Kevin Jochems. So, 7 left for Ireland. Still looking for that first clear, and here's a man who won a class on Thursday and was 4th on Thursday, 2nd in a class yesterday, jumped to clear and 4 faults in the Nations Cup team on Friday. Shane Sweetenham with his 10-year-old Main Road. Well, that worked. Right. Hopes in the crowd being raised. 6 or 5 or 6 strides down to this upright. Well, oof, got away with the rub. 2 to go. 9 seconds to get home. Still clear. Chasing to the up. Well, steady, steady. And another time penalty. But that's, on this occasion, it's 0.28 seconds out to the time. So what extraordinary scenes we're seeing here in the Longines National Grand Prix. The last 2 riders for Ireland, Anthony Condon and Shane Sweeten, have jumped beautiful rounds here in Dublin, but both with time penalties. Well,
Our next combination is Shane Breen, and he goes with Golden Hawk.
okay, Shane Breen, 3rd consecutive.
Shane, a 2-time winner of the previous event.
3rd consecutive competitor for Ireland, Shane Breen, with Golden Hawk. One on Thursday, in the money earlier on today. Shane currently 38th place in the Longines FEI global rankings. Right, now down to the last half of the course. Can Shane Breen give the Irish something to cheer about? Looking for their first clear. It's gone. Middle part of the combination's gone. The oohs and ahs go up in the grandstand here. Incredible time, 82.15 seconds. It's not against the clock, but it is against the 87 seconds, but 2 down, unfortunately. But a very quick time indeed. But 8 faults, 2 down for Shane Breen and the 13-year-old Golden Hawk. And with 5 more chances to get into the jump-off. 40 starters, 11 nations. 3 riders representing France, and one of those has jumped to clear, and that is Alexis Deribet, Timon Dieu, and now another rider for France, former world #1, Kevin Stout, with the wonderful 17-year-old gelding Rivière de Herdbys, HDC. Road for joy in the Nations Cup. That didn't go according to plan. Although France, as a team, finished 2nd equal. 1995 last time France saw a winner of the Dublin Grand Prix, Patrice Delaveau. Brilliant, still clear. Kevin Stout, former world #1, Olympic team champion. This is perfection, absolutely brilliant round. That's clear #4 from the Olympic team gold medalist, amongst many other accolades. Kevin Stout for France makes it clear #2 for France. France with 2 in the jump-off, and the Netherlands with 2 in the jump-off. We've had 30 of the 40 competitors coming forward to this first round of the Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland. We move from one Olympic gold medalist to another. The London Olympic individual gold medalist riding for Switzerland, another former world #1, Steve Gerdat with Alamo. So that's 4 clears from 30 competitors. See, he was in a bit of trouble at the water, but he's, you know, this man, like Kevin Stout, no flies on them. Jumped to clear in the first round on Friday. The Nations Cup had just one down in the second on Alamo. Ooh, just rub that, so that's 4 faults, still only at 4 clears. Well, we're not seeing Alamo jump the way we saw him jump on Friday, so that's 3 down inside the time, but on 12 faults. So 3 down, 12 faults for Steve Gerdat and Alamo for Switzerland.
So looking for our first clear round from Ireland as we welcome in for Ireland, Dara Kenny. He goes with Balu.
That's the 4 clears so far. On the caption on your screens, Angelique Horn for the Netherlands, fellow countrymen Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper. Then the French had their turn. Alexis Derabé with Timon Deur went clear, and then Kevin Stout, former world #1, with the 17-year-old Revere de Hertbees HDC, made it clear #4. 31 competitors have gone so far. This week here has been dominated by Irish riders, and one of the 2 riders in the running to be leading rider of the show in the arena now, Dara Kenny with Balu Duraventon. 2 wins, 3 seconds and a 6th. And it's between Daniel Coyle and Dara Kenny to be leading rider of the show. Nobody can get close to these 2, whatever happens today. This is the 14th international competition. In the previous 13, 11 winners from Ireland. Just Paul Esterman for Switzerland and Amanda Derbyshire have managed to grab hold of 2 of the classes, of the international classes, away from the Irish. Looking at the results for the last few days, both Amanda Derbyshire's win for Great Britain and Paul Esterman's for Switzerland, both in 7 or 8-year-old classes, interestingly. But all the other international competitions been won by Irish riders. And this man, Dara Kenny, finishes on 8, and he's in the running to be leading rider of the 2018 Dublin Horse Show, the Royal Dublin Society. Well, what a treat for our hosts here in Dublin. Former winners of the Longines International Grand Prix. That was back in 2014. These two athletes still on top form, Bertram Allen and Molly Malone. Interesting last week here in Ireland to show the appreciation of what this combination of rider and horse, or horse and rider, mean to the Irish. A set of stamps, postage stamps, were made to celebrate the Royal Dublin Society, this horse show, this famous 144-year-old horse show. And one of the stamps, the only one with a horse and rider on it, depict Bertram and Molly Malone, immortalised in a postage stamp. It's a hell of a compliment. I can feel the tension rising here. Still clear. I can feel the crowd in front of me. 87 seconds, 1 to go. This could be very popular indeed. Former winners 2014. They fly the last. That is absolutely brilliant. The winners from 2014 go clear in 2018 in the Longines International Grand Prix. They make it clear number 5. Heroes of the sport, recognised just 2 weeks ago when they launched a postage stamp with that very image on the postage stamp, and they've gone clear. Well, it could be a tremendous occasion if we can see a second win for that couple, but we've still got a fair way to go. We've got 5 clears in all and 7 more to jump. Great performance, great for the crowds here. Molly Malone, Bertram Allen, winners from 2014 in the jump-off in 2018. Now for the United States. Devon Ryan with the 9-year-old gelding Eddie Blue by Sirocco Blue. The combination that finished second in the Longines FEI World Cup final in Paris a few months ago. Have been in the money this week, had a 5th on Thursday. Got away with that. Last part of the combination still clear. We're going to see a third nation in the jump off. A fourth, I should say. We've got 2 for the Dutch. Watch the clock. 87 seconds the time allowed. And he's over the time. Devon Ryan for the United States, and Eddie Blue 16 hundredths of a second outside the 80-second time allowed. So great round being jumped by this 9-year-old, but his one-time penalty, clear jumping for Devin Rard and Eddie Blue. That's 3 riders now: Anthony Condon, Shane Sweetenham, Devin Rard, who've jumped super rounds jumping, but just outside that 87 seconds of time, and all of them in less than half a second outside. But now we stay with the United States. Another American rider who's been in the money this week, Adrian Sternlicht, and the 10-year-old mare, Crystalline. 2 rounds of 4 faults apiece in the Nations Cup for the US on Friday. Finished 3rd yesterday. Perfect down that line. Now the first of one of the big questions. Well answered. Still clear, well done. The clock looks okay. Still clear jumping, flies the last, and that's a clear for the United States. 3/4 of a second inside the time, a smiling Robert Ridland, I think that's a smile, and Chef de Keep, and definitely a beaming smile on Adrian Sternlicht with Crystalline. They make it clear, number 6. We've got the USA in the jump-off. Kent Farrington, 2015, was the last US winner. Lauren Hoff, McLean Ward, also in this century, have won it for the USA. Also Molly Ash. 5 to go, 6 clears so far. Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland, 2 for the Dutch, 2 for the French, 1 for Ireland, 1 for United States. Ireland with 3 other opportunities. This is the first of those 3. Cameron Hanley riding Is Esori. Quite something in Molly Malone and Bert Mallon were able to pull this one off. Just looking back at the history books, the last time that been won twice was actually back-to-back wins by Nick Skelton of Great Britain with Phoenix Park, 1990, 1991. This is very good indeed. And a 1/100th of a second. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. 3 Irish riders have jumped beautiful rounds here in Dublin in the first of the 2 rounds of the Longines International Grand Prix, and 3 of them have got 1 time penalty. That is unbelievable. 1/100th of a second outside the 87 seconds time allowed. Cameron Hanley, AS Isora, won't be back in the jump-off. Joins the lineup of Anthony Condon, Shane Sweetenham, and now Cameron Hanley and Devin Ram for the US, all with one time penalty, but 3 of them for Ireland. How painful is that? So the clears we've got so far: Angelica Horn and Kevin Jochems for the Netherlands, Alexis Derobet and Kevin Stout for France, Bertram Allen and Molly Malone, winners in 2014 for Ireland, and Adrienne Sternlicht and Crystalline for the US. 4 to jump, 6 clears so far in the 2018 Longines International Grand Prix here in Dublin. Unbelievable. Now, a man who jumped a double clear to help his country take their first ever, or certainly very recent, Nations Cup win on Friday for Mexico. Patricio Pasquel and Babel. Fabulous double clear. And at the press conference, Patricio Pasquel said, "You can call me Paddy this week." It's a great press conference. The scenes here were extraordinary, to say the least. And it's given the whole weekend a massive boost for Mexico to come here as the huge outsiders invited to take part in the Nations Cup, to come here and be the only team to finish on their first round score of 8 faults. 4 teams with 1 rider to go were on 8 faults, and the only team to manage to stay on that 8 faults were Mexico. Just fantastic. This 11-year-old jumped absolutely fantastically, as I say. Oh, well, we've seen that distance has been tricky. As Pascal looks over his shoulder, he's just outside the time, so two jumps down, 1 time penalty, 9 faults in all for Patricio Pasquel and Pavel, but that won't be worrying Paddy, as he's told us to call him this week, Paddy Pasquel, because Mexico have truly had one of the greatest, if not the greatest weekend in 100 years of jumping sport for them by taking the 8th leg, the last of the Division 1 legs of the Division 1 qualifiers for the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup final. So, Mexico out of the jump off here in the Longines International Grand Prix. 3 to go, 2 for Ireland, 1 for Italy. Mark Macaulay for Ireland, riding Jasko VD Bishop. Mark is climbing up the rankings, the global rankings, now 72. Right. Ireland already with Bertram Allen and Molly Malone in the bank for the jump off. Still clear. Perfect down that line that's caused so much trouble 2 to go, 10 seconds to get home. He looks okay on the clock. He's just got one more fence to negotiate. Will this be clear number 2? Well, he stood off a long way from that Oxer. It was perfect timing on the clock. He had 3 seconds to spare, in fact, but he wouldn't have known that, of course. But the one fence down, so still with the 6 clears, still only 1 for Ireland. He had a bit more time than perhaps he thought he might have done, because the clock has played such a massive part of this 2018 Longines International Grand Prix. Well, still 6 clears, 2 to go. We've got the winners from 2014. Both horse and rider, Molly Malone and Bertram Allen, are in the jump-off. And this man now for Italy was winner in 2016, on that occasion on Enzo de Latrange. For Italy, Lorenzo De Luca, on this occasion riding Irenis Horta, 10-year-old Belgian warm blood mare. And back in 2016 when he won the Longines International Grand Prix on Enzo, that was the week that was when Lorenzo won 6 classes. A week he won't forget. Right, come on, Lorenzo. On the winning team with Enzo as well. They won the Nations Cup a year ago on the horse. That was 2 years ago, I should say, in the 2016. He's got plenty of time. He's just got the last to jump. He makes no mistakes. He stops the clock about 1¼ seconds inside the time, and that makes it clear number 7 from the man that took the trophy in 2016. Lorenzo De Luca makes it Italy in the jump-off. 7 in the jump-off at the moment. We've got 1 more to come. Ireland have just got the 1 competitor in the jump-off, and Bertram Allen and Molly Malone. They started with 11 of the 40 competitors, Ireland, and they've had 10 of those. And this man in the arena now about to jump is a man on serious form. Daniel Coyle, who is battling to be leading rider of the show with Dara Kenny. Daniel Coyle, who has already had 4 wins this week, 1 second, 1 third, and 1 sixth. And nothing splits him and Dara Kenny, but of course Dara Kenny, who's not in the jump-off this afternoon. So, Daniel Coyle for Ireland with the 12-year-old mare, Sita. Well, that's down, so we know we've got just 6 in the jump-off. Well, it's now... It's not the round that we've seen from the man who's battling to be leading rider of the show with fellow countryman Dara Kenny. Is on 12 faults. He'll just take it easy coming home now. finishes on 14 faults. So let's have a quick rundown of the seven, I should say, that we've got clear. So the clears in the jump off here for the 2018 Longines International Grand Prix. Angelica Horn for the Netherlands. Kevin Jochems also for the Netherlands with Captain Cooper. Alexis de Rebay and Temondura, and a second chance for France. Kevin Stout, Revere de Hurt Beast. Winners from the 2014, the heroes of this sport in Ireland. One of the heroes, Bertram Allen, Molly Malone. Arian Sternlit, Crystalline, keeping hopes alive for the United States. And Lorenzo De Luca, winner from 2016 in the jump off, clear number 7 on Erenis Horta. We'll be back in a few moments for the jump off of the 2018 Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special treat for you here in the midpoint of the Longines Grand Prix of Ireland. Over the last few days, we've been witness to some rare sporting achievements here at the World Athletics Society. The first ever win, for example, for Mexico in the Agacount Cup is one of those moments when the sporting odds were fine. A team consisting mostly of amateur riders went out and competed with some of the best professionals in the world. But in recent days, there's been another tale of sporting achievement. A story of a team of underdogs punching above their weight. A team that's given their all for Ireland and made us all feel so proud. A group of athletes that reminded us about what the fun and joy of sport is all about. Even at the very highest level. A group of women that are brilliant sporting ambassadors for their country. Ladies and gentlemen, please give me a warm starting us welcome to the Irish Women's Hockey Team. World silver medalists. Today we will see Molly Byrne, Elena Price, Rachel Upton, Katie Murray, the captain, Mary Watkins, Deirdre Jude, Anna Flanagan, Sinead Loughlin, and one of those stories that just makes this team. Emily Beattie, who went as a fan to support her teammates who got the call up to go and play in the final. The team also included the goalkeeper of the tournament because of those 3 amazing penalty shootouts. All the members of the squad who were so proud in London. They entered the tournament for the first time in 16 years, ranked as the second lowest team in the competition, and they put us through some nail-biting moments of those penalty shootouts against the likes of India and Spain. Some outstanding goalkeeping, some nervous finishing, and a huge amount of belief. This team was rewarded with a place in the final and an achievement that they could be really, really proud of. Today they've been welcomed here to the RDS by the President of the World Athletics Society, Johnny Brennan. And after the heroics of the show jumping team were the Europeans last year, and they're the RTE Sports Team of the Year, there can be no doubt about who the favourites are for the RTE Sports Team of the Year later on this 2018 in December. We sincerely hope that they, along with our show jumping team, are part of the Irish Olympic representation for Tokyo 2020, and that they do us all proud again. Ladies and gentlemen, showing your support for the amazing Irish women's hockey team, world silver medalists.
Well, scenes in the arena here in between the 2 rounds of the Longines International Grand Prix. What you've just witnessed there is a quick visit from the Irish hockey team, who last week for the first time got into the World Cup final. They were the outsiders of all the teams. They weren't even expected to get out of the first stages of the World Cup, but they got to the final. They did get beaten, but they're here to celebrate that success in the arena here at the Dublin Horse Show. Right, getting my breath back. So we move to the 2018 jump-off of the Longines International Grand Prix. And what an incredible jump-off we've got, not least of all because we've got, for Ireland, only one of 11 Irish riders in the 40 that came forward for the first round who've survived, but they're the winners from 2014, Bertram Allen and Molly Malone. I'm just looking back in the history books. Tommy Wade won in 1961 on Dundrum, and 1963, 64, 65. Kathy Kusner for USA on Untouchable. She won 2 consecutive years. David Brew, Mr. Softy, 66, 67 and 68. And then the next time we saw the same horse win twice was Nick Skelton for Great Britain with Phoenix Park 1991. Well, the question is, can Bertram Allen and Molly Malone make it a repeat performance from 2014? But they won't get it all their own way, because we've got clears from Angelica Horn with Brago RNB. Kevin Yockham's winner of the King George V Gold Cup on Captain Cooper at Hickstead 2 weeks ago. Alexis Derabé, Timon Dieu for France. Kevin Stout, Revere de Hurt Beast, the 17-year-old, also for France. 2 French raiders in the jump-off. Bertram Allen and Molly Malone will come next, followed by Adrienne Sternlit and Kristaline for the United States. And then the last of the 7, the winner from 2016, but with a different ride on this occasion, Lorenzo De Luca and Aranis Horta.
Teamwork, headed up by Dr. Max Duncan down in the pocket, Leonard Cave, our main arena director, and here today we also have the man who will be the course designer at the World Equestrian Games, Alan Wade and his team.
So, course designer here, Alan Wade, who's got the job to build, build the courses at Tryon at the 2018 World Equestrian Games. They take place starting the second week of September. Many of the teams have not been chosen. That'll all be happening in the next 10 days. There are many of the chefs waiting to see the performances of the horses this week at Dublin before final decisions are made. 7 in the jump-off, and the first man, or the first competitor, is in the ring. Seven in the jump-off of the Longines International Grand Prix of Ireland, here in Dublin at the Royal Dublin Society Horse Show. The RDS, a very successful charity, at the 144th show, the 86th running of this Grand Prix. First of the 7, Angelica Horn with Brago RNB. She starts with a new fence, an Oxer, which is numbered fence 15. Then down to the first part of the what was the double 6A. Then now a tight left-hand turn down to an upright at 160. Now down to the first 2 parts of what was the treble last time. The upright 1 stride out over the Oxer. That's gone. Then the fence 12 that caused so much trouble in the first round, but of course the striding's different now without the last part of the combination. And then the same line coming home. So eight thoughts in a time of 40.40 for Angelica Horn and Brago RNB.
Kevin Yockham's, he goes with Captain Cooper.
We stay with the Netherlands.
The Netherlands still in with a chance of the 86th running of the Grand Prix here in Dublin. Their last winner in Schroeder in 2003. Kevin Yockham's now goes with the Netherlands with Captain Cooper.
Last winner for the Netherlands back in 2003. Wim Schroeder, Eurocommerce Montreal. Can we see Kevin Yockham's and Captain Cooper clinch it again for the Netherlands in 2018? This wonderful Scopy horse that won the King George V Cup at Hickstead a couple of weeks ago. .160 upright. the same line all the way home, just with the removal of the last part of the combination. At the last. Super jump at the last, he's clear. 40.93. Kevin Jochems, Captain Cooper, goes clear in a time of 40.93. That's the leader at this stage. 5 to jump here in Dublin. Great round from this fabulous combination. 23-year-old Kevin Jochems with his wonderful 11-year-old gelding, Dutch-bred gelding, Captain Cooper. That's the two from Holland. They've gone in the lead, 40.93, Kevin Jochems. Now we go to France. France, who last won this in 1995. The first of their two competitors, Alexis Derabet and Timon Deur for France. Time to beat 40.93. Over this in about 28, 29 seconds. He's about level with Kevin Jochems' time. Still clear. 40.93 the time to beat. Oh, well, into second place. Just over a second off the time set by Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper, 40.93. Into second place behind Kevin Jochems. Go France. France with one more hope in the jump-off. Former world number one. There he is on your screens. Kevin Stout. Riviere de Herdbeest, HDC.
European champion.
Well, this man has been in this position many, many times. Come out on top. That's one down. It's not going to go to France. Still in the grasp of the Netherlands. It's going to be a quick time. €30,000 for third place. So 40.4 with the four faults, 40.4 for and that puts him into third place. Kevin Stout, 40.4, identical time to Angelica Korn, but one more fenced out. So 4 faults, 40.4. Kevin Stout, Riviere de Herdbeest. Well, let's see what's going to happen now. Yes, they're cheering. Winners from 2014. 3 left to jump. 40.93 set by young Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper, and a man of similar age for Ireland, Molly Malone with Bertram Allen. You can hear a pin drop in this stadium. Comes in tight to the double. Oh, it's gone. Well, he's was up on the clock, but unfortunately that one fence down. Fastest four faulter Kevin Stout, 40.4. Big money, as I say, for all the top placings. A very quick time indeed, 40.14, the quickest time that we have seen today, but that one fence down, that puts Bertram Allen and Molly Malone into third place by my reckoning. Winners from 2014, immortalised in a postage stamp last week here in Ireland. Two to go, current leader. Winners from the Hickstead King George V Gold Cup, Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper for the Netherlands.
2015, the last time the United States of America awarded the Irish Trophy, Ken Farrington in the second, winning it then.
Now for the United States, Adrienne Sternlicht and the 10-year-old mare, Crystalline. 40.93, time to beat. Farrington, 2015, last American to take this trophy here in Dublin. Great shot. Came in at the same angle as Bertram Allen, but got away with it. Didn't get away with that. This is going to be a very quick time indeed, surely. It is indeed. 38.37 puts them into third place. They've nudged Bertram Allen out of that third spot. So Adrienne Sternlicht and Crystalline go into third with that electric time of 38.37, but the one fence down. Now for Italy. 2016 winner on Ensor de la Tranche. Lorenzo De Luca. Anis Horta for Italy. .93 the time to beat. He's going to come in here tight. He's done it. Still clear. One to go. 40.93. Will he do it? Will the man repeat his victory? No, just outside the time. And that puts him into third place. So Lorenzo De Luca, winners from 2016, go into third place in a time of 41.55. So the winner of the 2018 Longines International Grand Prix here in Dublin is the 23-year-old from the Netherlands, Kevin Jochems and Captain Cooper. On his 23rd birthday, he was victorious in Hickstead in the King George V Gold Cup. He's followed that up with a tremendous victory here in the Longines International Grand Prix at Dublin 2 weeks later. Fabulous combination. Well, in second place for France, Alexis Deribet and Timon Deur, they were clear on 41.31. So just about 0.4 of a second behind Kevin Jochems. Lorenzo De Luca, we've just seen, he was third at 41.55. Adrienne Sternlicht, Crystalline, best of the Americans on with 4 faults on 38.37. Bertram Allen, Molly Malone, trying to emulate the clear and the win that they had in 2014 wasn't to be. They finished in 5th place. Kevin Stout for France finished in 6th. Angelique Horn in 7th place for the Netherlands on Prego R&B. And then the trio of clears with one-time penalty. Anthony Condon, Shane Sweetenham, Cameron Hanley, all for Ireland, and along with Devin Ryan. They were 4 riders who jumped clear and didn't make the 87 seconds the time allowed. Well, it's been a tremendous week here in Dublin, and that, just looking down the list of winners overall the whole week, because this RDS show started on Wednesday, and it's been the international classes, of which there have now been 14, have been dominated by riders under the Irish flag. The only riders to have actually now completed or won international classes who are not Irish is indeed Kevin Jochums with Captain Cooper, who's just taken the Longines International Grand Prix, Amanda Derbyshire for Great Britain, and Paul Esterman for Switzerland. They took 2 7- and 8-year-old classes, but the rest of the classes have been won by Irish. Daniel Coyle, he's won 4 classes this week. Dara Kenny, he's won 3, and they've also, both those two have been placed in other classes, been dominated by the Irish raiders here in their home country. But the Grand Prix, the traditional end to this tremendous 5 days of the celebration of the horse, because of course the RDS is not just about jumping, it's every aspect of the horse world in this fabulous country where a horse is their number one business, and the quality of horses that we have seen, both with the ponies, the pony jumping, the show ponies, the hunters, the working hunters, the young stock in hand and ridden, have all been absolutely tremendous. And it's been a most incredible celebration of the horse at this wonderful, wonderful RDS show here in Dublin. The 144th year of this show, and you really get a sense, a feel of the history when you come here to visit. But this afternoon it's about the Longines International Grand Prix and Kevin Jochums and Captain Cooper. Kevin Jochums, just 23 years old, following up his King George V Gold Cup win from Hickson, takes the 2018 Longines International Grand Prix. Well, we're just a few moments away from the prize giving. Well, let's just reflect on the final of the international competitions here at the 2018 Dublin Horse Show. Kevin Jochums for the Netherlands keeps the flag flying for countries outside Ireland in terms of winning the first prizes here in Dublin. Alexis Deribet, Timoner for France in second place. Double clear for them. Stop the clock. 41.31. Lorenzo De Luca looking to repeat his win from 2016 in third on 41.55. Adrian Sternlicht and Crystalline fourth with the 4 faults in the jump off, along with Bertram Allen Molly Malone in 5th, also with 4 faults. Similar result for Kevin Stout, Rivière de Herpes for France. And in 7th place, the 7 clears from the 40 starters, Angelica Horn, Brego R&B, 8 faults in the jump off. Well, we'll just wait and have a look at the prize giving. Such a tremendous week. Tremendous week here at the RDS. If anyone's thinking about visiting a show, this is the one that everyone recommends. And the highlight, surely, of the week, there have been many highlights for many, many equestrian people and nations, but the true highlight, other than the result of the Longines International Grand Prix that we have just seen, surely must be the victory for the Mexicans, Team Mexico, that we were all privileged to witness on Friday in the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup. Unexpected, outsiders of the field, but came here at 25-1 shot. 3 clears from their 4 riders in the second round. Well, there's going to be a slight delay for the prize giving, I understand. So from us here at a truly, truly memorable RDS, or memorable Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup, the Longines International Grand Prix. It's been a truly great 5 days of the celebration of equestrian sport across many disciplines. So from me, it's bye-bye from Phil Ghazala here at the edge of the arena in Dublin. Apologies for the delay. I understand there's going to be a delay for a little while for the prize giving, but from me, it's goodbye and see you from Tryon, United States, for the 2018 Longines FEI World Equestrian Games. Sinead, thank you so much. I'm out of here. You've been great. And good luck with the Pope. Take care. Okay, bye-bye. Lovely on. Thanks, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Put your hands together. What a 7 we have for the jump off. Angelique Muir, who was the first to qualify for the Netherlands. Kevin Stout, the Olympic gold medalist for France. Bertram Allen, the former winner of Molly Malone's rider. Adrian Slernick and Crystalline for the United States of America. Our former winner, Lorenzo Luca, Meredith Swartz from Italy, finishing 3rd. Alexis Derivay, the winner in Colombia just a couple of weeks ago with Timor Dor. Annual champion for 2018 for the Netherlands, Captain Cooper, Kevin Jochems.
the quality though, 7 of the 40 jumping clear, and then 3 double clears to take the steps on the podium here this afternoon. Well, with all of our horses and riders here with us for the presentation now, could we ask you please to rise for the national anthem of the winner of the Longines Grand Prix of Ireland. Riding Captain Cooper, his Hickstead winner, Kevin Jokkens for the Netherlands. We're delighted to be joined by Maxime de Turckheim, brand manager for Longines UK and Ireland. Thanks to Longines for all that they do for our sport. Top partner and official timekeeper of the International Equestrian Federation and now title sponsor of the Longines FEI Nations Cup Series. Our third place finisher for 2018 is a former winner of this very class and an incredibly popular man here in Dublin. Riding Stefan Stengel's Erin Slaughter today, taking third for Italy, Lorenzo De Luca. And Maxime de Turckheim will make the first presentation here to Lorenzo. The Longines memento for a top 3 finish. Podium finishes in 5-star Grand Prix. It's not a strange event in the life of Lorenzo De Luca, one of the world's very, very best. Our second place finisher for 2018 is a rider who won the Longines Grand Prix of La Coruña just a couple of weeks ago in Spain. Riding Timon d'Or today, will you put your hands together for Francis Alexis Deranet. And now to receive not only the Longines memento, but of course, the Longines watch. The winner of the Longines Grand Prix of Ireland is Captain Cooper, Kevin Jokkens for the Netherlands. Receiving this magnificent timepiece from Longines, whose history with equestrian sport dates back more than a century. And their support right around the world through the Nations Cup and World Cup Series. And now, escorted by the senior non-commissioned officer from the 2 military police company, bearing the government trophy, the Royal Dublin Society President, Bernie Brennan, will present this prestigious award with such a great history to our winner today. Kevin Jokkens, Captain Cooper, the winner of the government trophy. Well, Kevin, the unfortunate news is that just like the King George Gold Cup, we're keeping this one here as well. So congratulations on your victory. We'll make sure we have all the photos to remind you of this. Bernie Brennan, President of the Royal Dublin Society, passes the trophy back to our senior non-commissioned officer from 2 military police company. And let's hear from our podium finishers here. Brendan McCardle is out.
to Longines for France. It was a great performance. A little bit English, but really you enjoyed it.
Very nice.
And you enjoyed your show here in Dublin?
Very nice. Very nice.
Trevion, and thank you for actually talking to us here on RT and Andy. Lorenzo and Luca, the Irish love you here as well. Give him a little big round of applause.
Thank you very much. Best crowd in the world, really, really.
The Grand Prix, it was a tough course this afternoon. Alan Wade really set a real test for you and all the rest of the riders.
Yeah, it's a super test just before the World Equestrian Games. I think I was already quite happy how my horse is quite new for me. It's only my fourth show, and it's my second Grand Prix, so I was glad, and it can be a really good option for the WEG, and I'm happy she jumped really good. It was a big course, it was a great sport.
It was a more technical course this afternoon than on Friday.
Yeah, it was bigger, box really wide, it was a different sport.
Well, it's great to have you with us here at Dublin, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation one final time for our winner, Kevin Jochums, for the Netherlands.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the award ceremony for the Longines Grand Prix of Ireland. We'll just get these final photographs here of our 3 podium finishers, and we prepare to move on to another award that has been running right the way through the week. It's the leading rider of the show here at the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup of Ireland, the Stella Line Dublin Horse Show for 2018. With an opportunity to hold it aloft, an example of the Irish silversmith's craftsmanship, another aspect of the work of the Royal Dublin Society, and it is a very, very famous trophy in the world of show jumping. It's one of the Grand Prix that is on everyone's bucket list, and Captain Cooper and Kevin Jochums have done it, our winners today for the Netherlands. Well, gentlemen, if we can clear the podium, it's time to move on to the presentation for the show's leading rider. Now, there are 2 divisions here, the best Irish athlete and the best international athlete. Luckily enough, for the last few years, the best Irish athlete has been the best international athlete. And this year, there's a man who's been second in the Speed Stakes, second in the Minerva Stakes, the winner of the Small Ireland Classic, the winner of the Dublin Stakes, and rarely had the prize giving in any other class. The leading rider of the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup of Ireland at the Stella Line Dublin Horse Show for 2018 is County Offaly's Darragh Kenny. Bernie Brennan, President of the Royal Dublin Society, presenting the award to our leading rider of the show. Exceptional week for Darragh. Based inside the top 1% of riders in the world, based now in the United States of America, like a lot of our riders, but they would never miss the opportunity to come back to Dublin. And let's hear about his Dublin week from our man on the ground, Brendan McCarthy.
Thanks, Robert. Darren, great to be the international rider of the show.
Yeah, it's fantastic. When you're home here, you always want to have a really good week and a really good result. So I was very happy with how my horses went, and they looked super all week. And the leading rider is fantastic to be here in Dublin. It's amazing, and the crowd is always fantastic. So I really enjoy it.
Now, you're from Offaly, but you're based in Europe. It's a big part of your plan every year to come back here.
Yeah, it's my calendar gets built around this show. I love Dublin. It's a fantastic horse show. They do an amazing job. The crowd is unbelievable. You don't get that at nearly any other show in the world. So it's just fantastic to be able to have such a good week here.
What about getting to the World Equestrian Games? Is that, we haven't heard the team yet. Are you looking forward to that? Is that going to be on the plan? Do you know? Is Grand Prix going to announce you this week?
I hope so. We'll find out on Monday, I suppose.
What does it mean to go to the World Equestrian Games?
Yeah, it's everything, for me as a rider, I want to go to championships and I want to win medals, so I really think it's amazing if I can get the chance to go to the World Equestrian Games, and hopefully it goes really well for us. The Irish riders and teams at the moment are incredible. It's unbelievable the standard of Irish riders and how great they all are and how hard they work at it, and we have to get a chance to go to a championship with all those riders. It's brilliant.
Well, you're a great ambassador all around the world. It's great to have you back here in Dublin this week. Ladies and gentlemen, our leading international rider, Darragh Kenny.
Congratulations, Darren. Don't forget the Diageo Pub Chase here this evening in the main arena as well. We're going to get the course built for that straight away. Thomas Speed will be with you to talk you through the fast-paced action there amongst the 8 teams taking part. That was